I'm going to read from the eighth book, or 7.5 book, The King of Shanghai, which is being reading from it because we're releasing it in the U.S. in September. So we're trying to get some additional U.S.s. So, for those of you who don't know who Ava Lee is, she is a Chinese-Canadian lesbian accountant. Chases bad debts for a living. In the first books, and her life changes as books move on. And she's the second child of a second wife. So her father has 3 wives, and she's from the second family. And she has father issues. And in the earlier books, she dreams about her father constantly, trying to connect with him in her dreams, and rarely is able to. And this is a dream sequence. And what's different about it, it's the first time that Uncle, who was her partner, comes into her dream. And she's in Shanghai, and the head of the Shanghai Triads, a guy by the name of Zhu, has just made her a business proposition, and she's not sure what to do about it. And she's in her room at the Venetian Hotel, sleeping, and this is the dream sequence. Her father visited her again in a dream, this time in a different setting and with a different emotional pull. Rather than just the two of them trying to connect in a hotel or catch a flight, her father was in a restaurant, sitting at a round table surrounded by 10 Chinese women. Ava could see them from all the way across the dining room, where she was standing by herself. They were eating, and the women were chatting as the lazy Susan spun a series of dishes from chopstick to chopstick. Her father was laughing, and the women seemed to be basking in his attention. A few of them looked younger than Ava. 2 could have been in their 40s, and the rest were around Ava's age. They were all well dressed, and there wasn't a wrist or a throat that was unadorned. Even from a distance, she could see green and white jade, platinum, and the rich glow of 21-karat gold. The restaurant was full, but there was an empty seat at her father's table. Ava walked towards it, feeling self-conscious and nervous. When she got close to the table, the overhead lights had suddenly dimmed. "Daddy, it's me, Ava," she said, smiling. He peered at her, the women's eyes following his. "I don't know any Ava," he said. "And no one calls him Daddy," one of the women shouted. Ava moved closer, thinking that perhaps couldn't see her properly in the weak light. "I don't think that's very funny," she said. He shrugged and turned his head away. The women did the same. The lazy Susan began to circle again, chopsticks plucking fruit from dishes. Ava felt as if she were watching them through a one-way mirror, able to see but not be seen. "Don't let him upset you," her voice said. "He loves everyone in turn and no one for very long." She froze. He was sitting off to the left in a green leather armchair pressed against the wall. Beside him was his ashtray stand. He had a lit cigarette in his hand, the smoke curling around his shadowed face, but she knew the voice. "Why does he do those things to me?" she said. He crossed his legs, and she saw that his feet barely touched the ground. He looked like a child being swallowed up by the chair. The smoke cleared, and she could make out his black suit, a white shirt buttoned to the collar, and the bottom half of his face. She searched for his eyes, but they were lost in shadow. "Your father moves from life to life. There is no malice in it, just practicality," Uncle said. She tried to step towards the chair, but couldn't move her feet. "Why are you here?" she asked. "I miss you," he said. "I miss you too. Don't cry." She felt a tear trickle down her cheek, and her hand shot out to intercept it. "I'm not crying." "I also need to talk to you," Uncle said. "About what?" "Zhu." "He reminds me of you, not entirely, but a bit," Ava said. Uncle butted out the cigarette in the ashtray, reached into his jacket pocket for his pack, took out a fresh stick and lit it with a long wood match. His face glowed in the phosphorus light, his skin taut and unlined, his lips a bit redder than usual. He blew on the match and was plunged into deeper darkness. "There were rumors that he is my son,"